There was a phrase that my grandmother Pecola used to say when I was little, and I didn't understand what it meant until I got older. Now, my grandmother Pecola was my mother's mother, and she was a very spiritual person. She was the type of person, if you got sick, she would go out in the backyard in the garden and pull some roots up out the ground and boil them in a pot with some lemon and some syrup, and you got a tonic that will clear up anything that you had. She'd probably throw a little rum or vodka in there to kind of help you rest. But for the most part, she was one of those type of people. She was raised in the country, and country living was what she had. And she moved to the city, well, technically the county, and was able to live a life for herself. So she lived a pretty simple, humble life. And so she had a lot of advice to give in regards to life. She's seen a lot of things. And one thing that she told me when I was little, and I didn't understand what she meant, was that don't let people ride your coattail. Now, some of you have already heard this phrase, and basically what it means is once you've achieved a certain milestone in life, whether it's financially, emotionally, or whatever the case may be, watch who you have around you and make sure you don't have anybody around you who is there for the sole purpose of benefiting from your blood, sweat, and tears. Don't let anybody use you. And I know it's good to finally reach a certain level where you're receiving the respect and the admiration that you deserve because you worked hard for it. But don't misinterpret that adoration for simple adoration. Some people are in for it to get something from you. And you got to be very careful because that is cloaked and disguised very, very carefully in a lot of cases. And some people even get married to people like this only to find out later on that's all that that person wanted. It's a sad thing, but it's the truth. These people were riding your coattails. And you also have another group of people that they'll come along during the process, give you the idea that they've got your back, and will be there the whole time. And once you reach the pinnacle, they figure in their mind that they're entitled to your benefits when the whole time they really didn't care about you. They saw the potential, fell in love with the potential, and they used that as an opportunity to level themselves up. Now, I mentioned this in a previous audio in regards to leveling up. When you see somebody on your journey and they're living their life and they're okay with their life, but they want a little bit more, the number one way that you can tell whether or not they want you for you or whether or not they want what you have is to see if they're doing anything to better their own position. If they're not doing anything to change their circumstances to where they are comfortable, if they don't have an active plan that they are working on at the time while you are trying to level up, get away from these people. All they want to do is give you a whole bunch of lip service, a whole lot of charm and affection and the whole 9 yards, but they're not doing anything to change their circumstances, but they're all about you. Be careful. Be careful. Now, if they're satisfied with their lives and they just want to offer you basic support, that's different. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about these stuck and stagnant people who are a bunch of opportunists. They are riding your coattail. They're riding your coattail, and you'll hear them say in conversation from time to time how they need this, and all they do is just offer lip service to the situation. They haven't come up with a plan. They haven't gotten with their creator on it. They haven't exercised any type of action in regards to it. But then when it comes to you and yours, they're all in. Okay, there's nothing wrong with someone having support for you, but the thing is if they're not satisfied with their own life and not doing anything about it, what they're doing is they're going to ride your coattail and get you to a certain position, so when you get to your position, you could turn around and take your energy and help them with something that they should have worked on the whole time that they was with you. It's a slick move, people, and it's happening every single day. And by that time, you're trapped because you're thinking, oh, well, they were with me the whole time. But why were they with you the whole time, see? Some people will waste time like that. They will literally waste time like that. So you guys just be very careful. Be very careful in regards to that. Understand that, I hear some people say sometimes, they might have famous family members that are famous in politics or entertainment or sports or whatever. And you'll hear these people talk about how they're related to them, but they don't see them because they don't come to family gatherings and everything else. Let me tell you something about that. And y'all might think I'm being stuck up, but coming from the environment that I came from, being exposed to people who were in the limelight at that level, a lot of them usually had the same gripe. And the number one gripe that they had is the reason why they'd be like, okay, you know what? I do want to go to the reunion. Yes, I do want to go to Thanksgiving. Yes, I do want to go there for Christmas. I do want to do it, with the family members and regular folks. But their number one fear is that when they do go, they can't have a moment's peace because somebody is always in their face wanting something. They can't sit down and eat their food at the dinner table. They can't sit down and play cards with everybody else because everybody's coming there. They want they want to take photos and record videos, and it's like they feel like they're still at work. And all they want to do is sit down and break bread just like everybody else. They want to sit down and have conversation just like everybody else. And you always have that group of people that come in with the sob story about some money or how they need a booster with their career, and they need and they need and they need. And people get tired of that. So they get to the point where they just don't want to be bothered with the family gatherings anymore. They don't want to be bothered. I mean, unfortunately, there's some people that used to go to a certain church, temple, mosque until they got in the spotlight. Then all of a sudden, the people around them changed up on you, and instead of treating them like humans, they were treating them like opportunities. And folks are like, look, can I just sit in the pew and listen to the sermon? Can I just go to the cookout and eat these ribs? You sit down and you got your ribs and your potato salad and your vegetables and everything. You could have finished that plate in 20 minutes, but it took you 2 hours to finish the food because people are in your face. People don't want that. You can't rest. And the people that are bothering them are the ones that ain't got shit going on for themselves. They're feeling a certain type of way. That's why people don't show up. Folks need a break. So the bottom line is this. If you see somebody is leveling up and you want to be in their space, you got to understand that that person has to be aware of what's going on around them at all times. If you don't have anything going on for yourself and you see somebody leveling up and you have no intention of changing your situation and you're not satisfied, stay away from them. Let them go. Just let them go. Because you're wasting your time and you're wasting theirs. Because once they reach a certain level and they want you by their side, you're not going to understand that world. You're not going to understand it because you never tried to be a part of it. All you wanted was to get what you wanted to get. And once that person starts getting around people that are on the same level that they are, they're going to start letting them know about your behavior. And then all of a sudden, you're going to be stuck on the outside. And it's rightly so because you shouldn't have used that person. You used them for the wrong reason. And that, people, is what happens when people ride your coattail. Have a great day. Walk in power, peace, protection, and prosperity.